Hi, this is Henry Groves with John L. Scott Real Estate, and this is Devin Farner with Finance of America. He's my preferred lender. This is just a short video on the home buying process. It's not scary, it's easy. Not many people really take the time to really talk about it though. So if you came to me looking for a home today, I would tell you the first step would be getting pre-qualified, and that's where Devin will take over.
Thanks, Henry. Yeah, we start with the pre-qualification process because if you haven't heard, it is kind of a crazy seller's market out there. So we want to make sure you're completely pre-approved before you hit the streets with Henry. What we start with would be either a 15-minute phone call, we have an online application, or we'd love to meet you face-to-face. We're going to do a consultation, ask you some questions, pull your credit, and then validate a little bit of info from you, all in an attempt to make sure that you're completely good to go. Then we're going to pass you back to Henry and get you looking at properties.
So after you've done that with Devin, like he said, we'll be looking at properties. And what I can do is you give me a specific criteria of what you're looking for. We'll already kind of know what the price range is through the pre-qualification with Devin. So after we have that criteria, I can set that up online in one of our programs to have you receive those homes instantly when they come on the market. That really puts us a cut above other people looking for homes in the market. While we're doing that, Devin's working on the whole approval process and some other programs involved, which he can talk more about.
Yeah, absolutely. The big thing we have here in Idaho, between our geography and we have an awesome bond loan program, we have tons of very low money and zero money down programs, as well as our VA, USDA, conventional type loans. We have loans that we can get you in for very little money down. So again, while you're looking at properties, we're going to be solidifying what type of loan you're going to be doing and working with Henry on that as well.
So that's really nice. The programs and everything that he talked about, you know, you could potentially get 0.5% down and stuff, which is awesome. Once we find the home, we're moving into the offer stage where, okay, we've been looking for a while and now we've actually found the home you want to move forward with. We're ready to put in an offer. There's two big things in the offer stage that can really affect you as a buyer. That is closing costs and earnest money. Earnest money is showing the sellers, you know, how interested we really are in their home. The more earnest money you're willing to put down, the stronger your offer. Typically 1% is kind of what you'd like to put for earnest money, but you can get by with a little bit less. That's something we can talk more in depth later. Closing costs, which is typically 2.5%. Oftentimes the sellers don't necessarily want to pay for it in this market, but I can negotiate getting the closing costs paid for, and there's just different sort of ways we can kind of attack that. And so once we get the offer accepted, we're moving into the inspection process, and the inspection is going to be typically within the first 5 days after the offer is accepted, hopefully sooner than 5 days. And after the inspection's done, you know, we see all the problems with the home from the professional home inspector that inspected the property. There's always stuff that comes up on it. A lot of times it's little things. If it's anything major or anything that concerns you, we will ask for the sellers to fix that, and the sellers will either say yes or no, or say they want to fix certain things but not all, and then we just kind of come to terms with that. After we come to terms with that, I let Devin know we're ready to order the appraisal, and he can talk a little bit more about that.
Yep. Hey, just so you know, most lenders out there will try to give you a credit card authorization and collect money from you up front for the appraisal. That can be confusing because a lot of times Henry's already negotiated that the seller pay that at closing, but the seller is often not willing to give us that money up front. So the deal that him and I have set up, that's a risk that we take as the lender. We cover that expense up front. Anywhere from $400 to $600, takes between 5 days up to about 10 days. And this is where the appraiser actually comes out. Yes, they're looking at condition like the inspector, but they're really assessing the overall value. They're making sure that it meets the standards of the loan program, but all in all making sure it's actually worth what you're paying for it and the loan that we're making on this property. So once that's done, we may be collecting a few other small conditions that we need to wrap up the loan. We're going to send it back to the underwriter and let Henry know that we're in the final stages for getting the loan docs and setting up a closing.
So now we'll set up closing. We already kind of knew when it was going to be for when we submitted the offer. Typically it's around 30 days or so. So we have the closing date set up. Myself and Devin will both be at closing in most circumstances. and then we'll just sign as long as there's no questions about any of the documents, which we will sit there and definitely make sure all those get answered before you sign all the documents. After that, it'll fund and record typically the same day, and we'll get you a key and you can move in. Some quick things I wanted to wrap up with. You can get approved with as low as a 580 credit score. I know Devin touched on that earlier, but it's something to remember. And you don't need a whole lot of money down. Like he said, you can get approved with 0.5% down. So that's basically it. And if you have any more questions, like I said, this is just a quick short video. You can reach out to myself or Devin, and we'll be able to answer those for you.
Yeah, please don't hesitate to call. We'd love to help.
Thank you.